Hello and welcome to another episode of the WonkyCast. On this week's show, we are chatting with Scott Baker and Morgan Lariah, who have this week set up and launched a new Kickstarter project to fund a feature film called Fifth Passenger, which is a sci-fi horror movie featuring a lot of the cast of Star Trek Voyager. Just before we get into that, just to let you know that we've added forums onto the website this week, so if you go along there, you can now sign up and register for an account and join in the conversation there. And keep an eye out on the site over the next couple of weeks, because we'll be adding event calendar functionality to it, so you can sign up to what events you're attending and plan meetups and get-togethers, etc. So yeah, get yourself over there and check them out. Until then, here's myself, Morgan and Scott talking about Fifth Passenger. Enjoy.
Big fucking gun!
Cool. Okay. So we'll bring it in now. So, yes, thanks very much for taking some time out to chat to me, guys. We're here basically to talk about Fifth Passenger, which is a new project that you guys launched a Kickstarter for in the last week or so. So, can you tell me a bit about the project?
It's a science fiction kind of a horror film, inspired by films like Alien, John Carpenter's The Thing, Event Horizon. It's a project that based off an idea that I had a couple of years ago, and brought Morgan on to help write it. And as indie filmmakers, we had this ambitious idea of this science fiction film that has a great story, small cast, had a life in space. Is the short pitch on it, and when I met Morgan and she was excited about the project, she helped me write the script, and we got these amazing Star Trek actors on board, and before we knew it, we had this like momentum going for the project, and we shot this proof of concept trailer that turned out fantastic with some great visual effects and all that stuff. And we spent a little time trying to get the film made the old-fashioned Hollywood way, and finding investors and things like that. And it's a whole different landscape out there now for indie filmmakers. The big studios want to invest in anything that's not Marvel or something that's a pre-existing title. And so coming out with an original idea and trying to get that made was tough. And so at one point we just decided that we were gonna take the film to the fans, the people who love good hardcore science fiction, love a good thrilling horror movie, love Star Trek actors, and reach out to them and ask them to help us make this film. And so that's where we're at now.
Yeah, because it's only been running a couple of days now, and I think you were already something like nearly a quarter of the way to your targets already.
Okay, yeah, we're on day 4 officially, and we're 25% of the way. It's really, really exciting, and in addition to everything that Scott said, we also got access to these really great sets, and so we just really felt like the time was now, and that it was all kind of coming together. So it seemed like the right time to do it, and we're all really, really excited. And we brought on this amazing co-producer, Ryan T. Huss, and it seems like it's all coming together, and it's just been so positive. Like, I love connecting with these fans and these people in the UK and in Germany, and everyone's just coming forward, and it's really exciting. And I can't wait to bring this story to life for everyone and share it with all of these amazing people I've met so far.
Yeah, we were talking just before you came on about kind of how kind of zealous the Star Trek fans are, in that they will just go out and support anything that these actors are doing. Do you think that's what's kind of contributed to the kind of big start to the project that this has had?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I think one of the great things about this project is that we have all these great actors that you recognize from Voyager and Next Generation and the Star Trek films, and then Doug Jones, who, you know, you say Doug Jones, and a lot of people don't know who that is, or you show them their face and they don't know. But, you know, he was Pan in Pan's Labyrinth, Abe Sapien in Hellboy, the Silver Surfer in the Fantastic Four movie, and he's in Falling Skies.
Yeah, he's done some amazing stuff, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him acting as him in something, because when you posted it out the other day on your Facebook page and you were saying you might not recognise the guy, I was like, it could be Doug Jones. It was like, yeah, it is! Yay!
You guessed
yeah,
right.
yeah.
I did, yeah. I was very pleased.
He's absolutely the nicest guy, like, I've met in the business. And yeah, with him, you know, the role that we have for him is he's sort of this Elon Musk character, you know, like the guy who started Tesla and everything like that. He's like the inventor, mogul kind of guy. And so yeah, he's not going to be wearing any fancy makeup or being a rubber suit or anything like that. And that's what, like, overall, with the Star Trek actors that we have, with Tim Russ and Marina Sirtis and Robert Picardo, is we're putting them in these roles that's different than who they would in the Star Trek shows. It's not like we're just taking the ears off of Tuvok and putting him in our movie. It's these are we feel opportunity for the actors to play something different, and then in the same fashion, it's an opportunity for the fans to see these actors play in something different. One of the things I thought was awesome, I've been watching the Orange is the New Black show, and to see Kate Mulgrew on there as she's still this strong, feminine, model in the show, but it's different than who she was on Voyager, especially going from the spaceship to the prison. It's a whole different thing, and so that's the kind of stuff we like and are trying to do with our film.
Yeah, Red's an awesome character in Orange is the New Black. She's great in that. Was that kind of something that you wanted to do from the outset? Was getting kind of well-known actors who are known for playing a particular type of thing, and then giving them something that's like completely out of the box? Was that an intentional thing?
Well, it's interesting because when we're writing the script, I mean, you see these actors in one particular light, but what you don't realize is how much more they have in their canon. And I think what really happened was there was a certain quality, and Scott saw that quality in these actors, and this quality is these characters. I mean, we're all many types of people, and so we're just bringing out a different quality that's always been there, but maybe they haven't been given this role to show that quality. And so I can't wait to see all of them in it and to see what they do with these roles. And I think it'll be really, really interesting.
Yeah, because there are some historically interesting roles that some of them have played. I think Robert Picardo, the one that strikes me that he used to do, I think I'm right on this, was he was Meg Mucklebones in Legend. If you remember Legend, he was he was the kind of witch thing that pops up out the water and attacks Tom Cruise. I think that was Robert Picardo.
Oh my God, yeah, I love Legend.
Yeah, it's an amazing movie.
Sorry, it's like Sunday morning, and I'm a little slow Sunday mornings. But yes, absolutely, and it's so funny because that's one of my most favorite Tom Cruise movies of all time. And I remember watching that as a kid, and that character terrified me. That was the most terrifying character I had ever seen. It's the type of thing where you're literally holding your hands up to your face and peeking through your fingers because I couldn't watch it as a child. But yeah, I was greatly influenced by that movie, and Tim Curry is great in that movie. That's just an incredible movie all around.
It's fantastic.
I didn't realize that until I saw somebody post about that was him.
Yeah, because a weird thing about that movie is that there's two completely different versions of it with two completely different soundtracks. There's one.
I know. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's the one that's the Tangerine Dream soundtrack, and then there's another one with a composer it's Jerry Goldsmith did the composed version, and they're very, very different cuts of the film as well.
Yeah, it's amazing how much they change with that, and like different voices and everything. Like they did dubbing over, I forget the actor's name, but like in a totally different voice, and it changes it entirely. It's really interesting. Yeah. I like them both, really, to be honest.
I'm hard pushed to decide which one I prefer.
Yeah, I know. I'll take them both. Did you know that they created that whole forest? Like, that forest was like, the leaves were like glued onto those trees, and that was all made in a studio. Blows
Wow.
my mind.
That is
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. Cool. Okay, sorry, that was a brief digression into legend there.
Yeah.
So you were saying that you came to the idea of doing the Kickstarter because you took it to the studios. So you said that the studios at this point they're not interested in financing new original ideas.
Yeah, it's it's partially that, how the industry has changed. They don't want to take a gamble on something. They want a safe bet. They want something that already has the proven fan base and things like that. And they want to see that you have Brad Pitt or some A-list actor attached to your project, and that's the only way people are going to want to see it. But there's lots of indie filmmakers out making original ideas, and so we just said, why not us? Why do we have to be chasing around guys in suits to allow us to make our movie? Let's just find a way to make the movie ourselves.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I think it's amazing that in this day and age you can literally approach a fan base directly and say, "Hey, help us make this."
Well, yeah, absolutely. And I think it's actually, I mean, it's almost like going back to the original spirit of filmmaking, back when they started doing it at the turn of the century, 114 years ago, or when there was just this exciting passion of this new technology and this new form of expression, and people just would make things because they had the cameras and they didn't ask for a yes from somebody. They had a story they wanted to tell, and then they made it, and then they found a way to get it to people. And I feel like we're really experiencing that same kind of renaissance now. We can talk directly to the fans, and the fans, we can give them what they want because we have access to them. And so let's do that because it's happening and it's exciting and it's possible, so we should, and we don't really need that middleman because of the way distribution is now, because of Amazon and iTunes and Netflix. Like, we can access these people and give them a great product that looks incredible, and we don't have to wait for permission. So I think it's exciting, and I feel like we're all really lucky to have this technology at our fingertips at this particular moment in time.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very interesting time because there are so many different diverse projects kicking around on. Because there's the Kickstarter platform, there's Indiegogo, there's a couple of others that are kicking around, and I mean there's all sorts of stuff that I've funded on there. There's like comic books and music and albums and films.
Games.
Yeah, games. Yeah, that's what I've been waiting on the longest. There's a game that I funded nearly 2 years ago, and it's still not out yet. And I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I think that's really exciting too. In that regard, that these crowdfunding platforms, because you buy a game and they're expensive, and maybe you buy it from Germany or England and you don't know if it's good, but you can go to Kickstarter and you can invest in this like totally new item, and then it's not that much of a risk. There's less of a risk there, and you're supporting someone. Maybe they'll turn out a really good game, and then they'll make another one, and then I just think it's exciting. Like, we're funding this creativity directly. It's like right at our fingertips. And we're saying what we want.
Yeah, and I love the fact that with things like Kickstarter and so forth, when you're pledging your support to them, you can buy in at various different levels that allow you to also input into the kind of creative process as well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's one thing that I find a lot with people I've spoken to about Kickstarters. When they're setting them up, generally speaking, it's difficult kind of coming up with the package of what you're going to offer at the various different levels. I mean, how was that process for you, coming up with the different things to offer?
Oh gosh, it was so difficult because we that the fans were really excited about and really spent a lot of time. Like, I'm researching a lot of other Kickstarter pages. I've personally, I don't know any Indiegogo and Kickstarter pages and projects I've supported, but I have a lot of friends, so I feel like at least once a month I'm giving $15 projects, or $5 sometimes, because there's so many of them. I love it, because I'm so excited that I have all these friends. So I've been really researching this whole process, I guess, for several years now. But doing it yourself, I had no idea it's so difficult, because you really want to give something that people will be excited about, and but you have to be careful, because at the same time, if you give them too much, then you're actually not making any money at all, because between Kickstarter and the credit card company, they take about 10%, and then you have to give about 10% for perks. You have to, calculate that. So you don't get the amount that you are pledging, that your goal. You get a fraction of that. You get about percent of that, 75-80% of that.
Yeah.
So we were really trying to give something exciting that people would love, but just to make sure that we were being careful about it too. So.
Yeah, because there are a lot of interesting perks in amongst all of that. What were the ones that you think are the most interesting that you're offering as perks?
Well, I think the personal, like the production assistant one is really interesting, because, if you've ever been curious about how films are made, or you've never been on set, or you just love these Star Trek actors, like, you can donate and you can be with us for a full week. And, these are, 9-hour days that we'll be together and working on this together. It's like an opportunity to come on board with us and, like, literally make this happen. And being on set is an incredible experience. I don't know if you've ever done it, but
I have. Yeah, like, I made a film a few years ago, so yeah, it's intense, but it's great fun.
Yeah, you know exactly what it's like, and everyone gets so close, and and the best. You see people like laughing all the time, and you make jokes, and you watch people work, and I always just marvel at watching everyone in the process of doing whatever their particular job is, and I always learn a lot too. And so I think that's a great perk, because you're doing it with us, and I also think we listed the uniforms, like the costumes that we're going to be using. I think that's a really exciting perk too, because they're going to be actually used in the film, and we're going to have the actors autograph it, so you can have this actual artifact from the film.
That's cool.
But honestly, I think whatever people are excited about is what they should do, and hopefully there's enough there for them and stuff.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think that's the perk that kind of jumped out for me. I thought that one looked amazing.
Oh,
I
thanks.
think the one that is having lunch with me is the most exciting one.
I'm actually going to probably purchase that perk, because I really like having lunch with Scott.
Yeah, and I just won't do it for free anymore. So
I know he's gotten really kind of haughty in the last couple of days. Ever since we launched this Kickstarter, he's been unruly. You have no idea.
Okay, so assuming that everything goes well with the Kickstarter, it all gets funded, what are the kind of next steps? When will filming start?
Well, we our plan is for December. We have a block of days that we're looking to start shooting. Part of it is going to be working with the schedules of the actors, because they're all actors, and Doug Jones, he's in Canada working on Falling Skies, and they go to the Star conventions, which is that we couldn't ask them to have to skip, because that's just part of what they do.
Yeah, I think I met Manu very briefly at a convention over here about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, we would hate to deny any of their fans the opportunity to see them. So we have schedules to work around and things like that. But so the block of film.
I think what Scott was going to say is that we have this block in December that we're planning on shooting, and
Sure.
And depending on schedules is when we're going to shoot.
Okay, cool. And so then obviously the period of post-production after that, and kind of when would you be looking at kind of releasing it?
Well, if all goes as planned, and we actually for the Kickstarter we put it at 65,000 as our goal, but we actually need about twice as much to film all principal photography. So we really actually need about 120,000.
Yeah.
So we will shoot there's a couple phases, because the majority of the story takes place on the escape pod. But then there's some other scenes, like on the mothership and on the new planet, Hesperides. So we're calling this phase 1, which is the pod, and then phase 2, which is all the other stuff. So if we make this 65,000, we'll film phase 1, and that's about 75% of the film. So that's a majority of the film. We might have to do another Kickstarter to do phase 2. In that case, we'll have to take it from there. But if all goes as planned, Simon, and we get it in the can by the end of January, depending on post, which we should probably give about a year, we're looking at late 2015. Okay, is cool. My guess. All right. But these movies, especially sci-fi movies, because there'll be some green screen and a lot of so we should probably give it a year. So we're hoping what we really want is late 2015. So almost really like possibly a year from now, we could be all sitting down together and watching this film.
So will you be doing stretch goals on the Kickstarter as well then if it hits kind of that level? Obviously, if it kind of takes off and gets you the amount that you actually need.
Absolutely, yeah, that's the goal. Because it's amazing. Like I'm looking at this and I'm looking at the budget. I'm like, where is all this money going? But you have to remember, like, we have crew, and you have to feed crew when they're on set, and our cast, and
90% of budget goes on living expenses and food.
Yeah. So it really does add up, and we're really lucky in that we have a lot of equipment already, and but we have to make costumes, and there's of course the alien we have to make, and
indeed the fun stuff.
Yeah, the stuff I love, and so it really adds up, and but I think we really have a good chance here. And like I said, if we just make our initial goal, then we'll film most of the movie. But we'll have to probably go back and either go to some other investors or go back to our amazing fans and work it out.
Cool.
I forgot to mention, Scott spoke about his journey on this, but I think what is really important about this story is it's not just that we have a really great sci-fi, but there's a really strong female lead. And I don't know about you, but as a woman or just as a person, like I really love movies with strong female leads. And,
there has been over the last few years, it started getting gradually to the point where there are more and more strong female leads, and I'm seeing that a lot in a lot of the campaigns that are coming up at the moment. Did you see the campaign for the steampunk one, Hullabaloo?
No, I haven't yet, but I'll look that up.
It's an animated one, and it's steampunk, and again, that's a strong female lead she's a scientist and an inventor and stuff, and it's all... I love that more people are doing that now. They're kind of... I think Joss Whedon will be very, very happy because people will stop asking him why he writes strong female leads again, because the more people that do that now, the more commonplace it becomes, the more fantastic it is.
Yeah, cool. So that's what I just wanted to say. That's what initially drew me to this story, because I can't agree more. I think it's so important and it's interesting, and that's kind of where we first saw it. It was in sci-fi, don't you think? Like sci-fi really gave us that.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look back at Aliens and stuff like that, where you start getting those characters coming through
that are strong and intelligent and they have opinions and
Yeah, well, I think it's still taking the kind of major studios, it's still taking them a while to come around to putting faith in a female lead movie, which is why at the moment we're still not seeing the kind of female-fronted Marvel movies or superhero movies or things like that, whereas they should just do them.
I know, and it's so funny because you bring this up and people are like, well, the Hunger Games. What about the Hunger Games? And I'm like, yes, the Hunger Games, that's great, but if you actually look at the numbers of like female roles versus male roles, it's something like women make up 25% of the roles in all major films.
Yeah.
And then the numbers for female writers and female directors are even smaller. It's unbelievable. So I think the more of that, I think you're right. It's just this way of shifting it.
I think we've just got Scott coming back in again. I think he's still there.
Hello?
Hello, you're back, sir.
Hey, yeah, I found Wi-Fi.
Okay, we were just about wrapping up there, so it's good you came. But we were just talking about how Morgan came to this because she was had the concept of the strong female lead was very attractive prospect in the film.
Yeah.
Is that something that was that something that you actually set out to do from the outset again?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like I said, one of my big inspirations was Alien, and I love the Ripley character.
Mm.
And I think, for me, whenever I'm doing any project, I like to turn things around. I like to twist things up. I like to give the audience something that they're used to. And one of the things about Hollywood films is it's very white male centered.
Yeah.
And that's just a consequence of kind of the way things are in America right now, or have been for the last couple hundred years.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to have female characters. I wanted to have characters that were of different ethnicities and different backgrounds and people that Hollywood doesn't normally feature so prominently. And for the female character, I think it's I didn't want the damsel in distress kind of character, where she's always waiting for men to save her from problems and things like that. I wanted somebody who was going to take charge and who was going to do what she wanted to do and do what she needed to do to survive. And that's ultimately what this film is about. It's about her struggle to survive. And it's about everybody's struggle to survive, in the larger sense, but in the micro sense, it's about her and her struggle to survive in space.
Sure.
And in this male dominated world, because that's within the story. There is still this patriarchal society that's somewhat racist and somewhat anti-women still, and that I thought was something interesting to explore, because I think, even in the future, people are still going to have, they're still going to be racist and they're still going to be, misogynist and, things like this. It's going to continue to be something that I think is just part of, being human or whatever, that is gonna always be with us.
Sure. Okay, well, so thank you very much, both of you, for taking your time out to chat to me about it.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you so much for having us. It's been really lovely.
Good luck with the rest of the Kickstarter. Hope it all goes well, and hoping once it's all filmed and everything, hopefully we'll get back and catch up with you then.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah. Thank you again, Simon. It's been
no
really
worries
lovely.
at all. Have a lovely day, guys.
You too.